Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, Tyrese Gibson. 8 movies later, when you did the first Fast and the Furious, did you ever imagine that you guys would be building one of the biggest franchises of all time? And here you are with The Fate of the Furious.
I don't think any of us seen it coming, and knew that we would be here this long. I think there's a couple of themes in the movie that one could equate to it being timeless. There's a worldwide love of cars. Most of us are speed demons in our own way. Most of us love customized cars. Women, muscles, chest muscles, and the diversity that's in the movie, that's been in the movie from the beginning. I think everybody in Hollywood is focusing on more inclusion and more diversity, which is a beautiful thing. But proudly, Fast and the Furious has been singing that song for 15 years. And I think that's one of the most unspoken kind of reasons behind the success.
One of the incredible things is to see the fan response to this movie. It is hard enough to have a successful sequel, a successful trilogy, but to do 8 movies and to have the fans still there, what does it mean to you to have that type of fan support?
Well, I mean, it's expected of comic books that turn into movies to have this type of support, or TV shows that become movies, but this all started with a Vibe magazine article about the underground car world in New York. So it's all of these things are connected to the fans have grew up with this franchise. They've connected to it, and I'm just honored to still be a part of the journey. I try and contribute in any way I can, and the fans may not know this, but they put us under way more pressure than they can ever imagine. Because the more successful the one is, we trying to figure out, well, how do we take it up a notch?
When you're part of a franchise like this, and you'd mentioned taking it up a notch, each time you do a new movie, and they do take it up a notch each movie, are you like, holy cow, how did they get it to this next level?
Well, at this point, when I read the scripts, nothing surprises me. So we're just, I guess, we take the words and take these concepts, and we try our best to figure out a way to make it real for us. And everything about my character, I tend to be the voice of the reality of the people, So it's like whatever the audience may be thinking, I'm thinking it, so I'm probably going to say it in the movie.
I was just talking to Michelle Rodriguez on Monday, and I asked her, this movie is all about family, because you guys are a family on screen. What's the dynamic like off screen?
What's crazy is the energy that we have off screen keeps the chemistry alive on screen. We tend to do, other than race cars and do anything super dangerous, all of that vibe and chemistry and love that you see amongst the cast, we actually do it for real. A couple of days ago was Ven's daughter's birthday, Similche. I wasn't able to make it. Tried to get my daughter over there, but she had just traveled in from London. So it's not like, we missed the birthday party, no big deal. Like, we were devastated that we missed Similche's birthday party. So it's like we have a real commitment off camera to be a family, to hold each other down. As much as the world was mourning when we all lost Paul Walker, and all of these special messages and tweets and Instagrams, it was us that helped us to get through that tragedy, because we got more closer than we've ever been. And so it's real for us, and it's, I'm not necessarily close to my immediate family, so my family is the family of the Fast and the Furious.
It is such a fascinating thing to see the journey of your career. I remember Baby Boy when it came out, and here you are, you've been part of Transformers, that franchise. You've been part of the Fast and the Furious franchise. When you look back on this journey that you've been on, how have you changed personally?
Well, one thing that hasn't changed is I'm still not a morning person. But if I can think of the things that have changed, I guess I've became way more considerate of people than I ever thought. I mean, when it comes to business, when it comes to working on a movie set or anything, I'm always thinking about how I can contribute to somebody else's survival. And, you know, that was a mind state that wasn't really there at first. I think, you know, when it comes to everyone coexisting, like I don't hold cameras, I don't do lighting, grips, and electronics, but everybody matters to contribute to what we're all here to do. And everybody has a family, everybody has kids, everybody has family members that are sick and under the weather. Just never know what people are dealing with. And I've never thought about that more than I do now. So I try my best to be the energy and the inspiration and bring good vibes, because you just never know whose day or week you can be contributing to. So that's one thing for sure that's changed in me.
When you look at this franchise, how many more can you guys make? Do you look at it and say, let's just keep going till the cars stop?
You know, I think at the end of the day, if you were in real estate and you bought a house for $75,000 and you flipped it for $400,000, I think you would probably stay in real estate.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's common sense. We're going to keep going as long as the fans continue to show up and support it. Should we be done with it by now? Conceptually, yes. We should have been done with it. But how do you explain the success? How do you explain the audience and the fan base to continue to grow? How do you explain breaking the internet from just releasing a trailer? So you look at the numbers, you look at the energy, the fan base, you look at the stars that continue to show up on a Charlize Theron, Helen Mirren, Jason Statham, Dwayne Johnson. You look at all these folks that continue to show up and you say, you know what, well, it doesn't really look like this real estate is losing steam anytime soon, so let's keep it going. I mean, I'm throwing my hat out there, asking Matt Damon, if you can look at this interview. Matt Damon, I think you need to be in Fast 9. I'm campaigning for you. I'd like Denzel to join us too at a certain point.
We've had a Matt Damon and Denzel reach out for Fast 9. I love it.
I hope you see this. Thank you.
My final question is, when people see this movie, what do you hope they take away from it?
I think the goal is always to remind people of family and the sacrifice of family, and diversity. I think it's very important that Hollywood understand that everyone deserves a chance to look on a screen at a movie or a TV show and see someone that looks like them. It's very important. And just everywhere around the world, we're dealing with politics. We're dealing with, you know, the constant threat of Donald Trump and whatever ideas he may come up with tomorrow. And movies like this allow for you to escape. It allows for you to just have a 2-hour break away from the reality of what's going on in our world. And that's the beauty of movies, escapism. And everyone around the world loves cars, women, the energy of adrenaline. And I just hope that every man, woman, and child are able to take their whole family out April 14th to go enjoy another Fast and the Furious.
Everybody make sure to catch the 8th movie in the installment, The Fate of the Furious, opening April 14th.